it takes a while to come to grips or to come to terms with what's actually going on and how the extent to which addiction's taken over the life of your child, and the child may be in denial, let alone the parent. The parent sometimes is more aware than the child just how bad the problem is. The child can look really sick and emaciated and not even be able to, maintain their appearance, and they'll still be acting as if they're okay. They'll say, "Mum, everything's fine, just give me some more money, please. I'm sure I'm fine at the moment." But, they just get so lost in their denial. The young people, the parents have all these hopes and dreams for their young person, and they see them having a future and their potential, what they could be, and yet, addiction takes that all away from them. Yeah, my son wrote a poem, and he was expressing how he felt, exasperated really, that he felt more like a creature than a man. At some level, he knew he wasn't in control of his life. He wasn't developing and growing as he could be. He wasn't didn't have that dignity and pride in self. I'd made so many mistakes and had become bogged down in my own failures. Apathy had set in like a dense fog. "Mum, I have to deal with this addiction thing myself," he said. He thought he was impressing me. Actually, he had gone and shot up while we were in the cafe. He spoke with a rush of enthusiasm, animated, alive, just like myself after a caffeine hit. "Mum, I need the stuff just to get by. I can't live without it." If only I had known the signs, realised how deeply that he had got caught up in the vice-like grip of the addiction. Being more like a creature, he's sort of at the beck and call of the addiction, virtually. Yeah, well, that was just in the sense that he wasn't making the connection with his addiction and how it was robbing him of his future and of his hopes and dreams. It turns the family topsy-turvy, and you sort of can easily get caught up in reacting, simply reacting, and without knowledge and understanding, without sort of having some idea of what's going on, you're in the dark, and it's a hard one. You really need to have the help of other people. It's no good trying to do it on your own. The problem is greater than any one family can deal with on their own. I actually did pursue some trying to understand it a bit more myself, and I had been to some talks at our local community centre about the effects of different drugs on people, and so I had been going, and I joined Youth at Risk and was actually involved in helping young people who had problems of addiction. We held a camp for them. We had counsellors too from America. And it was during my time with Youth at Risk that my son actually overdosed. Yeah. So, you know, in a way I was lucky in some sense that I did have a lot of support, and I'm grateful for that. Parents coming to family groups get insight into how their child's addiction is affecting their children, and they're able to step back and have another look at how they're reacting to their child and their addiction. And it helps in our groups to be able to share our stories and to hear how others have dealt with their issues. Here we find we can safely share our hopes and fears and find acceptance and understanding in our struggles in coming to terms with the enormity of the problems created by addiction. We got together after 7 years with a group of my son's friends, and we had a poetry reading, and several of the young people who were musicians played guitar to the background. Poetry that he had written with his friend, and his friend had wanted to read the poetry for us, and I was delighted because the majority of his friends, who are now in their early 30s, were either studying at uni or had careers, and were very happy and alive people, and it was very heartening to see that. And they all were happy. When I say happy, we all shared memories of Eugene, and he'd been a part of their life, and an important part in many respects. A lot of the young people do get through it to the other side and come out to it, perhaps, dare I say, enriched, but, you know, they have learnt their lessons, perhaps, would be a better way of putting it.